Okay, so we've established that I'm not a welder. Doing really good to just be an electrician. And I fucking suck at housekeeping. Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, so I had need to, well, I kind of made a welding tree, basically. You know, something that would hold my vise. I'm sorry, hold my grinder at the same time I could sharpen my drill bits with it. It's turned out to be quite the charm, really. This little dandy right here. You know, I put a stupid bolt on there, and when I don't have the wire wheel on her, and just a regular, I don't know, sander, you know, whatever, I can, this is set at 118 degrees with 15 degrees of pitch down. I can put a flat blade on her, like the cutoff wheel there, and I can sharpen a bit. And I'll tell you what, for just, you know, doing it in my spare time in my garage, let's see if I can get it to focus on just the drill bit. There we go. I mean, it freaking sharpens the shit out of them. And, yeah, man, I mean, they cut, let me tell you. Without a pilot, with a pilot, without oil, with oil, it doesn't matter. They cut really good. But what I wanted to tell you was, so I was at work the other day, and, man, I keep wanting to grab this damn thing. I know I'm going to get burnt like crazy. I just welded this all together. There's 2 pieces of flat plate that I welded together to make a big, like a butt plate for a vise. And the size of this nut, man, that coupler. It's actually a coupling. It's a rod coupling or a bolt coupling. But it is ginormous. Like, it is genuinely 3/4 of an inch. This is, well, shit, 9/16, 5/16. I don't remember now. It's one or the other. It's just larger than 1/2 inch. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as the butt plate for a vise. This will be the, I'm going to mill out the inside of it and take all the threads out, but this will be like the guide, just the pass-through. This is fucking 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, whatever, 1/2 inch rigid or black iron cap. So I welded that on there too with a, here comes the kicker. Oh, yeah, folks, yeah, let's not drop everything. I took a piece of 1/2 inch threaded galvanized. You can't quite see it down in there, but it's there. I put a nipple in there. There's a 1/2 inch nipple in there that goes inside of this. So the rod will actually go right inside of that son of a bitch. So I don't even really have to mill this coupler. You know, like take the threads out or anything like that. It'll work no matter what. And I don't know how the hell I did it, but pretty much got it. Both of them, you know, like lined up with each other, obviously. So that it can either be on the bottom, which I think is what I'll do, or top, and I can weld it to the inside of one of those pieces of track laying over yonder. Yeah, there's one vise that I built and like, I don't know, kind of told to go fuck off. It unless I shortened, you know, like cut the jaws out right here and then brought them back, it defeats the purpose. I didn't make the travel long enough. It's only getting like 3 1/2, 3 3/4. So yeah, it wasn't really worth keeping. So anyway, man, my garage is like getting worse daily. I've got to repair the vise on the drill press, but of course I got to buy a new drill because I burned the motor up in that one. And Craftsman drills, man, are just, they are what they are. You definitely pay for what you get. If you want a drill that's going to drill, oh man, I would almost suggest just buying a drill motor and maybe getting a small, like not a VFD, but basically a VFD, some type of motor control. you know, like standalone, to set off somewhere else with your variable speed on it. I just, man, drills are great, but these plastic housings and stuff like that, they don't shed enough heat quick enough. These drills build up heat, especially these hammer drills. You know, they slip in the hammer while you're drilling, and that fucks your steel up. And yeah, it's not worth it. I think this go around, I'm just going to get a drill motor, DC motor. I'm going to get a converter or a computer power supply. Get a 12-volt motor and hook it up, see what happens. I think I'll have better luck with it that way. The torque on them, you know, you can kind of adjust those around with your amperage, you know, how many amps you actually put out and this, that, and the other. And I think it's worth it to go down like to the hobby store and just pick up a DC motor and I've got a shit ton of old computers around here. I'm sure I can dig out a power supply that still works. And you know, put the jumpers on the power on the 24 pin, jumper on the 24 pin to get your power supply to kick on. You're golden. So I think that's the route that I'm going to go with that. It gives me a chance to rebuild the tower. You know, it's a little too tall, but yeah. So yeah, so that was my thought. You know, I was going to try to use this as a like I said, kind of like a pass through, or a for lack of a better word, a carrier bearing, basically. You know, just to carry the threaded rod through the hole and into the vise itself. I think it'll work just fine. So anyway, there you are, man. Have at it.